We have with us another special guest from the state of Madhya Pradesh. We have with us Manu Srivastav, Principal Secretary Government of Madhya Pradesh. Again, he doesn't need any introduction because if you name any officer who has done remarkable work in terms of solar energy in India, his name will come first. We all know about Delhi Metro, but not many of us know that Delhi Metro is run by a remarkable path-breaking project. It's called REVA project, 750 megawatt solar energy, which is run by Delhi Metro, and there are a lot of coveted things happen by Mr. Manu Srivastav. So let's hear his vision on digital governance. A big round of applause for him, please.
Dr. Kumar, Pursharth, Dr. Kostrom, Sachin, it's a pleasure to be here in this conference. Firstly, I must say that I am perhaps the wrong person to be here, and perhaps then I would also add perhaps why I'm not too wrong a person for that either. Though I must acknowledge that I started off with some sort of a technological background. I was in Delhi IIT, but I suppose, I studied electrical engineering, and most of my work actually has been more in energy than in digital technology. But I would love to talk about how digital technology has moved beyond IT now. So just as language is used not just for advancement of literature, but for conveying of ideas pertaining to even medicine or engineering or technology, just as computers are not only used to do things which are essentially digital in nature, but also to perhaps write a novel or a poem or a play or do something else. Similarly, IT has moved to sectors beyond, till now we have talked largely of delivery of services to citizens and about government functioning, but how it is relevant to other sectors. In introduction, there was a kind reference to this project that I have conceptualized and implemented, which is actually the first project in India to bring down the price of solar below that of coal. And interestingly, Delhi Metro is running on that power, and during daytime, 65% of power from of the requirement of Delhi Metro is met from this project in Rewa in Madhya Pradesh. But if I have to talk about use of digital technology, perhaps I would give another example where the use of technology was even more stark. Even in this project, there is something that Pursharth referred about, information asymmetry. So technology was used extensively to reduce information asymmetry, but I would give the example of another project which has been noticed quite a lot. This is about another end of the spectrum. Rewa is a huge project, 750 megawatt, it's over 1,500 hectare, 15 square kilometer. There's another project I've done, it's a rooftop project, just the other end of the spectrum, very small projects. So let's say we have done one on IIM Indore, for example. So the project, what it entails is that, firstly, I've just defined the project in less than a minute, and then I'll talk to you about the impact of technology or how digital technology has benefited that or how it has made it really possible. The project is very simple in its, as a concept, that the consumer, let's say IIM Indore in this case, does not make any investment at all. Some private party comes, puts up solar panels on top of the building and sells power to IIM Indore. They set up the project, maintain it for 25 years. They are paid only and only on the energy generated. Now, if the cost at which power is supplied is lesser than the cost of the DISCOM power, then IIM Indore is making a saving. So looking at it from the point of IIM Indore, they made zero investment. If the cost of power is lesser, they make savings from day one for 25 years, and you're doing something that's environmentally good. So we have got the lowermost rates in the country. More importantly, we are the only, it's the only project in India which has actually worked. No other project in the country has worked at all. And we got the lowermost rate, more than 100 organizations in the state, including Government of India organizations like Power Grid and National University and School of Planning and Architecture, AG Office, etc., are using it. So now I would tell you how digital technology was was useful, and how it. I mentioned that the project has not worked anywhere in the country, but it has worked with us. So now I would like to tell you how technology had a role to play in digital technology, had a role to play in making it happen. There are other things as well, but I would focus on the digital technology aspect of it, because that is the nature of today's interaction that we're having. So the projects that had been done till now, they just asked the developer that you have to supply power to, let's say, Rajasthan or Madhya Pradesh or UP or Bihar, whatever. So quote the rate for, let's say, UP. Now, UP is not one place, or UP is not one sort of buildings. UP could have a big KGMC, King George Medical College in Lucknow, or it could have a small college in Pilakhua, or a small college in Hapur. So faraway places, different perceptions of law and order, various varying power requirements, etc., etc. What we did was that we had different tenders. It was like a marathon has a 100-meter race and a 200-meter race and a 400-meter race. So our tender also was really a bouquet of tenders. So one was, let's say, for government colleges. There are many, but I'm just give an example of two to illustrate the difference. Government college, and the other was government universities, both under higher education department. But the difference between the two is that university is ordinarily a big organization, a big area with a huge power requirement in a big city. A college is very often a very small, I'm not talking of medical colleges or engineering colleges, I'm talking of normal government colleges, which usually have nothing but a light and fan load. There are hardly any labs functioning in usual government colleges, and I don't think, apart from the principal, there is an AC in the entire building, etc. So the power requirement is much smaller, and they are scattered a lot. It's not only in a divisional headquarter or district headquarter, but even a tehsil headquarter. Like the example I gave of Hapur or Pilakhua for UP, for example, they would also have colleges. So the difference between university and a college: university is a big project in a big place, fewer of them, but each project is big. And colleges would be smaller projects scattered over a large area. So as you can imagine, it's simpler for a developer to set up a project in a university rather than a college, because economy of scale, bigger, easier accessibility, etc. But it's very difficult to fathom for a developer to fathom sitting in Noida, Greater Noida, Bangalore, Hyderabad, Pune. What it entails setting up a project, let's say in Madhya Pradesh. What are the various colleges? We had 207 government colleges. It was impossible even for the Commissioner of Higher Education, I don't think anyone has tried either, to travel to 207 government colleges in his or her tenure. I suppose you would take years to finish that. A bidding takes place over not more than 4 to 6 weeks. Is it possible for a developer to see all those sites? So what we had done, that tender of government colleges had one folder, a data folder, that had 207 subfolders. Each subfolder was for one college. Each subfolder had a Google image of that college with detailing regarding the sort of buildings, whatever trees. It was in a simple Google image with trees, etc., etc. And there are packages available which give you information detailed enough to tell you whether the shadow of the tree falls on the building or not. So whether you can put solar panels there or not. There are packages available with which you can develop a pre-engineering design. So you actually know that over this college, this is how you put solar panels. This is where you put the inverter. This is where the LT panel point is, where you inject the electricity, and how much wire you need. So we could tell in the pre-engineering design how many solar panels the developer would need, how many inverters they would need, even the length of copper wire to 1 decimal point after the meter. So this detailed information was available for each and every college. So there are 207 colleges for each one of them, if there are 12 universities for each one of them, if there were 7 medical colleges for each one of them, and so on and so forth, just at the click of a button. Now imagine what Sir Prashad talked about, killing information asymmetry. How much information asymmetry does it kill? I mean, a developer sitting in any of the places doesn't even need to Madhya Pradesh. At the click of a mouse, he or she can see what is the capital investment needed in each project. So our rates were almost half of the lowermost received in India till now. So, these days a lot of WhatsApp groups of everything, so also of solar developers. So someone had said that, we reduced 1 rupee per unit just because the pre-engineering design was done. So they were not required to adhere to that pre-engineering design. It was a suggestive design. They had the freedom to alter. They were not bound to do it, but it gave them complete information about the site, the nature of the site, how much shadow there would be, how much capital investment they would require, etc. So this is a small example of how digital technology can help in innumerable sectors. I'm sure someone from health can give a wonderful example of how it is possible in health. But the example or the illustration that I gave is how digital technology is increasingly making it possible for advancement of various SDG goals across sectors, across departments, and we need to increasingly use more and more of technology, digital technology, to walk across to these sectors. We have moved a lot on what is IT. My basic point is that just as before writing a letter in English, you don't need an approval of, let's say, the Department of English in a college or university, just because now that before using a computer, you don't need the approval of Department of IT. Similarly, usage of IT should move beyond IT. All sectors have to increasingly use IT to enhance the services and facilities that they are being able to offer and to achieve better results. I would finally like to thank the organizers for having given me this opportunity to speak to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Sri Manu Srivastav, for sharing with us with his thoughts on how IT is being used and how IT can be used more effectively to bring transformation in various government departments and overall.